So fill up your cup as you listen in. Wake up in the morning with Shelly on WAPN. On WAPN.
Good Monday morning. How are you this morning? I feel like I have not been here in forever. Of course, I have stopped by. You know, I can't just not come to work, but I haven't been actually on the air. I haven't been doing stuff on my desk. It's been so weird, but I did thoroughly enjoy my Thanksgiving and my time off. Yummy, yummy food. The leftovers are done. I could have ate some more sweet potatoes. My daughter makes the best sweet potatoes. And so I did finish off, yeah, and we could have had more ham. You know, Tim and I pulled out some, but I don't think we pulled out enough. I think the ham and the turkey were the best ever this year. I probably say that every year, so we could rewind this and say that again next year. But Thanksgiving was amazing. Then we hung out for a while, and then I went home and went to bed. I was the wise girl, okay, because the other three girls stayed up. Yvonne left finally, I think, around 10:30. I think Alexa left like at 12. And so Hope got to bed like 1:30, and she was at my house at 4:30. And we were picking Yvonne up at 4:45 and meeting Alexa. Yep, and we went shopping. So yes, we were those girls that went out on early Friday morning. I mean, they did get towel warmers. Those were pretty cool. If I had room, I'd probably want one, or I think I want one in my mind, but I don't know how often I'd use it. We did get really cute coats. Oh my goodness. Well, jackets, not coats. Really nice puffer jackets. And then I got toys for the toy drive because we are having a toy drive. We are going to be at Daytona Dream Center on December 23rd at the end of the food drop, giving out toys. So all the businesses around town are collecting them, and everybody's delivering them. You can deliver them here to WAPN. A new unwrapped toys for all ages, and we'll be taking my SUV full of toys out there. Got my little elf outfit in yesterday, and so we are going to be doing the toys at the toy drop on December 23rd. So if you've got toys, new toys, bring them on by. We really appreciate it here at WAPN. And then let's see, Saturday, I don't think I even left the house. Nope, I think I just hung out the house and made sure everything was great. Oh, I did get the coolest thing for the yard. Okay, I have been having light drama this year. I guess you have to replace your lights every so many years. Anyways, it happened to be this year. Everything needed to be replaced. So I've been replacing lights, restringing lights, replacing lights, restringing lights. I have two little Debbies in my yard. I sure do. I got the viral little Debbies. Yep, that go in your yard. I do have those. So got that. Pretty special to have little Debbies in your yard. So then Sunday is our grocery shop day and stuff. And so then the Bills played yesterday. But I do have a prayer request in between all that. One of the guys that works for Tim had a massive stroke on Saturday morning and is in the hospital. He's still in ICU right now. And so if you will please pray for Dave, that God just touch his body and strengthen his body and totally restore his body. And so also pray for Tim as he's figuring it out right now. And so that's not a fun way to start a week. We're thankful that the ambulance got there and that he's alive. And so pray for Dave and pray for my husband as we're figuring it all out. So that was all that. And then to end our weekend was football at 4:30. So we turned on the Buffalo Bills. It was the worst first quarter I've ever experienced. 0-0, boring. Partway into the next quarter, boring. I thought, I am not going to want to watch this game. What am I going to do? How am I going to wrap presents? What am I going to do? Ended up being awesome. Started playing decent. Ended up winning 26-7. So, woohoo for the Buffalo Bills. That was an exciting way to end the night. I hear Miami won also 21 over the Saints 17. So, football at our house is very important. So, watch that. And then we went to bed. And here we are starting it all over again. So the 4 days went quickly, nicely, and it was great to have a break. And so now here we are, a new month, December 1st. I know, Christmas music is playing all over around regular programming. The stockings are hung. The Christmas tree is up. The lights are all over the yard. Yeah, there's not a present wrapped. Nope, not a present wrapped. But the cards are being done. So I feel like I'm doing pretty good. I feel like that I have made it farther than I normally make it. So I'm pretty darn excited. I've cut way back. And so that does make a big difference. But yesterday I went to the granddaughter's house and dropped off their ornaments. And that was fun to do that. And of course, their chocolate to start their month of piece of chocolate every day. I don't think they have a piece every day. I think they eat a couple weeks worth just in case you're going to miss the days, but it's just like a tradition that I do. And I've got to go get a poinsettia this morning because I have somebody that I deliver a poinsettia to at the beginning of the season and her donuts. So I need to do that this morning. I've just got stuff to do today and I love it. I love being busy. I love the favor of God. I love to walk in here, the smell of Christmas when I walk in this morning, the goodness of God. I'm just thankful of everything. I've went through some stuff this last couple months and my feelings have been a little hurt and things have change has happened. And but God, God is so good. Even though we don't like change. Change is also really good for us. And so it's been a little uncomfortable and it's been a little trying to decide what God is trying to do. And then he really showed me, I got you this far to take you farther. And I was like, okay, I've rearranged and stuff and he's redone stuff. And so I was like, oh, so I need to be paying attention. And, that's my biggest fault. I think that I'm doing all things and I'm not really listening when God's saying, okay, I brought you here. Now we're going to change it up. Now I am a girl that does like to do things all the time. I like to be going and I like to be doing. I like to be blessing. And he's saying, okay, we've tried all these different things. Now we're going to critique the ones that are the things that I want you to do. And so that's what he's doing right now. He's figuring it out. He's changing some stuff. He's removing some stuff. He's adding some stuff. And I'm making some decisions. And so I'm thankful. And, I'm thankful for the good health that I have. I'm so thankful for my good health. When I think about last year, I still wasn't feeling that good. And, it had been a rough year with my health. And, But God, he brought me through and he brought me through stronger, and then there's that devil that he's a liar. And so when you're feeling so good, sometimes there'll be this little whisper that said, something, and I have to stand on God's word. I stand on God's word. I am healed and I am healthy. And I am strong. And so I was thinking about that early this morning as I was starting my day and how awesome it is to be able to get up early, rise early with a smile on my face, knowing that God's got it. Be prayed up and know that whatever situation we're dealing with, God has a perfect plan. It's not fun during the plan. I'm just going to tell you right now, this weekend, when we got the news about Dave and then, Tim went to the hospital and then trying to figure it all out and it's overwhelming. But, God has a plan. Even when we don't see it, when we're in the middle of the muck, we don't see it. We can't even think it. God has a plan. And so I feel like that's what's been happening the last few weeks here at WAPN, me, Tim, whatever. He has a plan. And he's had to sometimes drag us through it. Now, yesterday, Tim and I went for an hour bike ride, and the weather was absolutely beautiful. Here it is, this November 30th, and we're riding bikes in tank tops. It was absolutely beautiful. And we rode all down beach and all through the park and all that. And I can imagine what it looks like at night. And just thankful that we have strong legs. Thankful for good weather, thankful for the little things, thankful to be able to do that. Thankful that at 63 years old, I want to go for a bike ride. I'm happy to go for a bike ride. I'm thankful to go for a bike ride. And so I was thinking about all those things this weekend about we take life for granted. In a moment's notice, anything can happen. Your whole life can be turned upside down. Are we ready? Do you know your maker? Do you know where you're going to be? Well, I'm going to be in glory. I'm going to be in glory, talking to my parents, hanging out, having a good old time. But you've got to know that. And so your salvation, this is the time of year. Jesus is the reason for the season. This is the time of year to make that decision. Go to a Christmas program, invite somebody to church, walk on into a church yourself. Yesterday I loved it when I stopped and saw my granddaughters, and my granddaughter was telling me about church today. And then my daughter was telling me something that Pastor Joe had said. And she said it reminded her so much of my dad. And, what a blessing. What a blessing to go to my daughter's house, which used to be my parents' house. So they grew up there, and now that she's, her children are growing up there. And then to go to the church that Tim and I have been a part of for years and years and years, and a part of WAPN for years. And our family now goes there, and our engineer goes there. And I was just thinking about all the things that God has done and how he's constantly setting it up. But you've got to be willing, you've got to be able, and you've got to say yes. And, I'm a yes girl. I say yes. Sometimes it gets me in trouble. Sometimes I shouldn't say yes. I should think about before I say yes. But if out comes yes, I'm going to show up. I'm going to do my best. I'm going to give it my whole heart. When I do it 300%. I don't just do it part. I do it all. And so I think that is what God is doing right now. He's saying, I know you. I know that you're going to give it all. I know that you're going to do whatever I ask you to do, and you're going to do it wholeheartedly. So now I want to critique it, and I want to refine it, and I want to change it up. And I'm like, okay. And it's funny because at first when he's telling me this, I think, why, oh, why do I have to go through this? Why, oh, why am I right here? Because he knows me. He knows every hair on my head. He knows everything I do. He knows that I love certain things in life. I'm a numbers girl. I love numbers. And that's something that I like to work with. I was thinking about that this morning. Tomorrow is Giving Tuesday. This is a perfect time to give to WAPN. It's the end of the year, the last month of 2025. And if you've never thought about donating to WAPN, great opportunity to donate to WAPN. We are a nonprofit, a 501c3. We participate in a lot of things in the neighborhood, and we have expenses. And so if you would like to help WAPN, maybe a one-time end of the year gift, maybe becoming a monthly partner, a daily partner, however you'd like to do it, you can come by the radio station at 1508 State Avenue right here in Holy Hill, and you can donate right here. We have a mail drop. You can throw it right through the mail drop, and I'll get your dollars, your fives, your hundreds, your thousands, whatever. You can go to our website, WAPN.net, and give right there. So think about partnering with WAPN and giving. Giving Tuesday is tomorrow, but you can give any day on WAPN. And, we participate in a lot of things in this community. And when you give $1, part of that's going back to maybe the diaper bank. Part of that is maybe going back to toys, or maybe that's going back to feeding a mama, or helping with Thanksgiving for somebody, or buying some socks and underwear. WAPN participates in so many things around the community, and it's your dollars. We tithe off of every dollar that you give to WAPN. We give a percentage back into our community. Yeah, our community right here. There's nothing wrong with giving money to wherever God tells you to give it. But I'm a big believer in giving back to our community. The businesses that you shop in, the places that you see, the children in the area. That's why I do so many nonprofit interviews and stuff. I'm a firm believer in blessing our community. I love Central Florida. I love Daytona Beach. I love Holly Hill. I do. When I was driving to work this morning, I was praying for our police officers and praising the Lord for our sweet little town. And so I give right back here by volunteering, by my money, by my works, by my talent, by my airtime. So I think that's very important that you know where you're giving. When you give to WAPN, you're giving right back into our community besides helping WAPN. Well, y'all, I am out of here. I got a lot to do today. Let's get our favor on and get this day going. If you're really going to experience God's favor, you got to get in the right mind, going in the right direction. I'm going in the right direction today. It is Monday, December 1st, 2025. The weather 74 with a low of 62. Madison 67 with a low of 55. If it's your birthday today, it's Karen Gray's birthday. She's a listener of WAPN. She's came here and volunteered. And I know that she's had a rough year. So, Lord, I ask that you touch Karen from the top of her head to her soles of her feet and everything in between, and just bless her, bless her, bless her, bless her today, Lord. Also, it's Jim Pelletier, and so happy for Jim that what God has done. Last night, a picture popped up of him when he was here in his Santa Claus outfit in our parking lot, blessing children a couple years back. So happy birthday, Pastor Jim Pelletier. We love you bunches, buddy. Barb Kennedy, well, now she's Barb Hughes from Tomoka. Sweet lady here in town. And I was just thinking about her and what God has done for her and her life. And I pray that he just keeps on showing up and showing out to Miss Barb. And today is National Cyber Monday. So text me if you got some deals. Yeah. Well, y'all, I am out.